I was born in Suwon, South Korea, and came to Canada when I was 5 years old with my family. I grew up in mostly housing projects, government subsidized housing projects for the early part of my life. And when I was about 13 years old is when I started to write. And it was also the time when I started getting serious about learning about food. And so for most of my teenage years until now, I worked in some restaurant or another, starting in the kitchen and then moving to the front, becoming manager, becoming owner, chef, all of those things. So I played every single role. Now, at the same time, from the age of 13 until now, I'd also been writing. My big dream was always to become a writer. So a playwright, a short story writer, and a novelist. And so over time, these two things came together. And I wrote serious stories, I wrote plays, and meanwhile, I was opening up a lot of restaurants. But I knew that I would never make a cookbook. That wasn't my way of writing. What I wanted to do was I wanted to tell stories about food, about being Korean, about life through both my books and through my restaurant career. I was working in restaurants for all of my life. And so because my focus was to become a writer, one of the things is I had to just keep working in restaurants to make a living. And so only afterwards, long time afterwards, did I understand what my purpose is in the restaurant. So when I opened up my first restaurant, I wanted to do something with modern Japanese food and modern Korean food. So when you look at the restaurants I've owned, they've all been modern Japanese or modern Korean. My goal now as a chef is to really, really show people that it's different. It's very different. Even though they use the same technique and it looks the same, it's very different. And that sushi really is an expression of the Japanese spirit, but kimbap is really the expression of Korean spirit, and they are very different.
What do you think of the strategy of the run the business successful?
The restaurant business is a very competitive, difficult business.
Okay.
In order for you to succeed in the restaurant business in Toronto, you have to understand 5 things. Number 1, is this the menu or food that people want to eat? Number 2, is this the right location to create the restaurant? Number 3, is my marketing strategy the right marketing strategy? Number 4, do I have the right people to balance service with quality with cost? And number 5, you have to have somebody who really understands the market and accounting. The restaurant business is much more difficult today than it was 10 years ago. And the reason why is today there's a lot more food festivals, there's food trucks, almost anybody can get a license to cook out of their home and sell it. You have transport or delivery systems like Uber who are getting into the market, and then also you have supermarkets that sell prepared foods. As immigrants, we grew up in housing projects. Government paid some of the rent. My parents, because they're immigrant parents, they had to work all the time, so they were never home. So the problem is when you have kids at home and they have to eat, they always eat wrong food. They always eat frozen dinners, they always eat, things with a lot of sugar, they eat Kraft dinner, things like that. things from cans. And so when I do my talks, when I did my TED Talk, when I do my SIPO talk, all of those, I talk about how important it is for children from immigrant families to learn about the ABC of nutritious food. So my talks on behalf of children is about what do immigrant children have to do so that they eat healthy when their family or their parents are not at home.
What is your future plan? And what do you want?
So everything that I want to do in my future now is going to express my Koreanness through food and writing.